the girl running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod.
I got a question I ask all the engineers, all the mechanics. The octane of a car. How do they determine what it's going to be? By the top of the cylinder, the diameter of the cylinder, or what?
We talk about the octane of the fuel that it needs to burn?
Gasoline, yeah.
Okay. You need the type of fuel. They measure what they call the volumetric efficiency. God, I hate that phrase. But they measure that. That is the size of the combustion chamber, the push of the piston, and the area that they got to ignite. And they'll tell you what it's going to take with a spark plug to ignite that fuel for that length of time that it needs to. It's all done by calculations. It's pretty cool.
I'll be darned.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody knew but you.
You were on the right track. It has to do with
I got to brag on it. I worked on bigger engines than you ever did.
Oh, I'll bet. I'll bet you did.
I worked on diesel engines in the Navy during the Korean War.
Oh, geez. You were powering ships.
You ever hear of Fairbanks Morse?
Oh, geez, no. Wow. How cool is that?
Opposed piston engine.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the top piston was ahead of the bottom piston by 22.5 degrees. It had 8 pistons. Also worked on a 16V General Motors
those opposed pistons
engine.
Those engines were very, very powerful. Very powerful. That was a big
deal.
Yeah,
it was an LST. They had 2 of them.
I hear you. Wow, that's crazy.
All they had to do was slow one engine down or up, and they turned it. They really could whip around.
Gotta love it. Well, you got me right up against the break. I'm glad you called. Whatever you do, don't hesitate to call me again, buddy. I'll keep tracking things in LaPorte, will you?
I have to at my age. God bless you, buddy. Bye-bye.
You too, my friend. Well, now, it stands to reason. You're always waiting. When Toyota says it, Lexus is sure to follow. Well, it took forever to do it. It was like a year ago when Toyota recalled this thing. But this is bad, and I want you to pay attention because there are a lot of these on the road. I want everybody that knows anybody that has one to say something. 2006 to 2014. Lexus sedans and SUVs have a problem. There's 115,000 of them out on the road. If you ever saw a Lexus on the side of the road in flames, this is why. The fuel leak in the diaphragm of the fuel pulsator is part of the fuel injection system. It's under the hood. It's a fuel pulsator, and it leaks. The rubber diaphragm leaks. Simply enough to tell you, it leaks gas all over a hot motor. You know what that leads to. That's something we don't talk about in front of T-Rex. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Eric play with matches yet, but I know T-Rex plays with matches every time I mention the word fire. Earlier, the Toyota Camry had the same recall, but they say it's not the same. It's not. They didn't have to recall it right away. Now the story comes. This is the story. My buddy Rich, we call him MGD Rich. That's for obvious reasons, of course. 928 Car Guys, by the way, if you want to call. Or if you want to find out where MGD Rich is, I'll tell you. But he bought right before I bought my 2015 Edge, he bought a 2015 Explorer. And he said, George, it's always smelled like there's fumes, exhaust fumes inside that car. Well, a while back, I did a report on it that Ford was offering a free fix to people that bought these Explorers because they thought there might be a problem with exhaust fumes getting in the cabin area. Might be, okay? Subsequently, after they were offering for this free fix, subsequently, a Texas town, half the police force went down sick. They're all driving Explorers for squads, and half the police force got sick on a shift from these cars with the fumes. They slowly, after a few days, got sicker than a dog with these new fumes, with these new Explorers. All driving Explorer squad cars. Now, there's a not-profit group out there called Center for Automotive Safety. They have petitioned the NHTSA to force Ford Motor Company to formally recall 1.35 million Ford Explorers and repair them properly. because people are getting sick. And that's, plus, if you pass out at the wheel, I mean, how bad is that? I mean, that's not good at all. They hem, they haw, they chip away, they do anything they can to not have to recall everything they should. Why do they think it's saving them any money? It's certainly not saving any lives. It may be taking a few. That's just the game. How you play this game, it's all politics. It's the politics of auto recalls. And it sucks. I'm telling you, it stinks. All right. As a result of Stinkygate, Volkswagen has agreed to pay more than $30.4 billion in fines, which are being distributed amongst all the states where VW diesels were sold. I got some to tell you how 5 of these states are spending their monies. Let's go to the car phone real quick first and see who we got on the car phone. Oh, looks like he hung up. That's okay. We'll get back to you. If he wants to, he can call back and we'll take care of his call and he'll be just fine. Anyway, we want to look and see how these five of these states are spending their big money windfall. It's a big deal. $30.4 billion. They distributed it amongst every state in the union that sold Volkswagen diesels, and they all did. I don't think Alaska did, to be honest with you. Why would you buy a diesel in Alaska? Well, never mind. We'll think about that. California tops the list while receiving $422.6 million. They got so many per car. There's our caller. Let's see what he's got to say. What do you think, caller? You're on with the car guy. Hello?
Hey, Big George. It's Mark from Region Rise. How are you?
Hey, Region Rise. What's happening?
How are you, buddy?
Good. I'm looking forward to that show on Saturday.
That's right. You're going to be there, right?
Oh, absolutely. Me and T-Rex and Eric, and we're going to be out there doing our thing.
Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be a good show. We're really excited about it. It's going to be the third one this year, and I think it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Right? We've got all kinds of things lined up. We've got the pinup model contest. There's going to be a mustache contest, a arm wrestling contest. All those have $100 prizes, so come on out for that. And plus, we got the car, truck, and bike show. I mean, how can we forget that? I mean, it's going to be a great show.
Absolutely. And the proceeds are for what? PTSD and Operation Bike Saver?
It's going to Operation Combat Bike Saver, and they're located in Cedar Lake. It's a great group of guys. My goal this year is to raise $10,000 for that charity. I mean, that'd be substantial if we could pull that off. Last weekend, I had the opportunity to go out to their shop, and they needed some help building trophies for this weekend. So all the trophies this year are handmade, and they're made from car parts that people have donated at the shop, that other people have brought in, and they're all the trophies. They're one of a kind. Each one is going to be completely different than the next, and it's not like anything you've ever seen before. I tell you what, it's going to be awesome.
Oh, that's really cool. I've got a big bucket of happy waxes and soaps I'm going to bring out from the car guy for I'm going to have my car guy favorite of the show award.
There you go.
It'll be a lot of fun.
That sounds good, Joe. We can't wait to see you on Saturday, man.
You know what? Well, I'll be there with bells on. Me and the boys.
You always are, George.
All right, Mark. Thanks for calling, buddy. That's great.
All right, man. Have a good show.
Mark Hallier, Region Rise Magazine. That's one of our sponsors and one of our good customers and one of our good clients that comes in and sits and talks with me about car shows. Man, he's good. Connecticut, little bitty Connecticut, nice state. They got 7.5. Oh no, they got 55 million. 55.7, but they're spending, so far they've decided they're going to spend 7.5 million of their share to fund grants for research for reducing NOx or nitrogen oxide. Woo, easy for me to say. I don't think so, right, T-Rex? Nitrogen oxide in vehicles. That's the pollutant, the NOx, and that's what all this whole hubbub is about with Stinkygate. So they're gonna have grants for people that are studying ways to really lower that NOx thing. Well, on top of all those fines that they paid, what did I tell you? 30 million. Here it was $30.4 billion that they distributed amongst the 50 states. Well, on top of that, Volkswagen has agreed to directly donate to each state $3 billion for similar projects, but with some stipulations. The money must be used to reduce the central component of smog, which is what I just tell you, NOx, nitrogen oxide. And only 15% can be used for electric charging station infrastructure. So they put some stipulations on this. Volkswagen, they're not going to have all electric cars right away, and they want to be able to sell you some more cars yet. Meanwhile, General Motors is banking on a diesel revival of sorts. They're investing technology and money in cash, in Turin, Italy's development center. It's in Turin, like the Shroud of Turin. Well, that's just in Italy. And they have a development center there. GM has had it for a while, but they're redoing it, and they're going to claim they sold over 600,000 diesel cars and trucks in 2017 worldwide. And guess what? They don't have any sign of a defeat device. So obviously they're clean. GM diesels, they don't stink. That's pretty good if you think about it. At least nobody's found out yet that they don't stink. If they have that Bosch computer in their car, they could be cheating. Trust me. 928 Car Guys, if you want to ring my bell. We've had a couple calls already tonight, and it's really good stuff going on out there. Man, there's a lot of hot rod stuff going on. It's summer. We're cranking up. It's going to town. Liddy Q's up by the airport. Come, let's see when she's July 25th. No, 29th. July 29th. She'll have another cruise in out there. That's a Sunday afternoon. That's always a good time. And the Southside Cruisers, based out of Chicago Heights, they're running those shows for her, and she's doing a good job. It's a really nice time. Plus, you can always sneak inside, and go up the elevator to Lenny Q's barbecue restaurant or try your brisket or whatever. I highly recommend the bruschetta. You decide, but I personally wouldn't be caught dead. Number one is a Honda Fit. Yeah, F-I-T, Fit. Number two is a Ford Fiesta. These are all cheap to insure. Number three, the Honda CR-V. Finally, a car with a little bit of looks to it. CR-V isn't a bad vehicle. 4, the Honda Pilot. No. That's one of them the carjacker ignores. Number 5, the Mini Cooper Countryman. That's definitely ignored by the carjacker. Ford Edge, number 6. I drive one of those, and I insure mine, and it's fairly reasonable, I guess. The Mazda 3. Nice looking car. Hyundai Elantra, good looking car. Toyota Sienna van, it's okay. And the Nissan Versa, nah. But these are cars, that's the 10 cars that are the cheapest to insure. And if you're high risk, or for some reason the family is, or you're in a high risk area, if you live in Cook County, or the city of Chicago, where they steal cars every 10 seconds, of course, those days are pretty much over. They can't steal them like they used to. They got to carjack them. You can't steal them. We'll go into that one of these days, too. We'll talk all about that, because the carjackings have gone up and the car thefts have gone down. And the reason for that is they're too hard to steal. And these dummies, these high school dropouts that are out there robbing and stealing, can't figure out how to steal your car. They have to steal it with you in it while it's running. So because they don't know how to outwire them. They can't, well, it's too hard. And the computers won't let them. So anyway, long story. That's another whole show. 928 Car Guys, if you have anything to comment on it. I hope I didn't offend anybody that drives one of those those little boxes on wheels. But some of them they should be cheaper to insure.